After a grueling week, here we are, folks, on the last day of the play-ins here in the PVL. Kaya Gagate and the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles go on a quest to punch that last quarter-final ticket in today. Meanwhile, Leila Cruz and the rest of the Capital1 Solar Spikers looking to end it on a high note. And could they play spoilers tonight? Well, the action continues right here at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. It's the Capital1 Solar Spikers going up against the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles. My absolute pleasure to welcome you to this broadcast today. My name is Jana Ejido, your courtside reporter. And what would a panel be without my lovely anchor and analyst for tonight, Chihiro Apuno and Neil Flores?
I love it! We're lovely. No, it is a lovely day. This is the last day of the play-in. Thanks so much, Jana, for getting us all excited.
Alrighty, yes.
Yeah, you know what, Neil? Did it seem like just yesterday when you were saying, ang haba nitong conference na to, and here we are. I mean, we're just about ready to wrap the play-in, like we said. And, you know, Jana mentioned that this is still an important game because something is in the balance. There can be a spoiler. Spoiler alert. Yeah, baka nga merong mga hindi matutuwa. But it's really something that Zeus is playing hard for, right, Neil?
It is an important day for ZUS Coffee because they are in position to get their first ever franchise quarterfinals berth, but they have to pull out all the stops because Capital1 can spoil the party.
Oo nga eh. Let's take a closer look at that. Let's look at the standings from the play-ins. It's pretty simple, but just to give you an idea of what is next after the last day today of the play-ins.
Only the top team from each group will actually move on to the quarterfinals. So for ZUS Coffee, they only need to win this match to be able to get that quarterfinals berth. As for Group 2, Cheritigo already secured their quarterfinal seat.
So that's the story there. That's why Capital1 Solar Spikers, really, they don't have a shot into the quarterfinals anymore. But spoilers, because they might allow Signal to come in instead of Zeus. But you said that Capital1 was able to at least get a win against Signal in one game in that four-game match against Signal. And so that's something that we can talk about. And we want to highlight a couple of players who medyo naghabol, di ba? Yung parang matatapos na lang and nagpakitang gilas pa. Of course, we're talking about Trisha Genesis and Leila Cruz. But let's start from the beginning. No pun intended, you know?
In the beginning, there was light.
Uh-huh.
You know, for Capital1, they were able to pick up a talent in Trisha Genesis, and she has been proving her value for the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Efficiency could be improved, but the 12 points versus Signal went a long way for Capital1. So they do want to get the same numbers from Trisha Genesis, and she really needs to step up and improve those numbers if they want to spoil the party for ZUS Coffee.
You know, we're happy for her because it seems like she found the place where she belongs, and we know the talent of Trisha Genesis, and we are waiting to see more of how she is able to gel with her new team. And of course, another player we mentioned, Leila Cruz, who is the number 2 pick, so all eyes on her. I mean, everybody was looking to see how she was going to perform in this conference. And against Signal, she scored 12.
Yeah, in the rookie draft night, I remember Coach Roger stating that they really needed more height and power to boost their roster. That's why they were able to pick up Leila Cruz. She did tally 99 points in total after the preliminaries. Double na yan ang output niya from her last year. So you can see the steady improvement of Leila Cruz.
Yeah, and let's mention her 16-point output against Petrogas in the qualifiers. So that's pretty big against a huge team like Petrogas. So Leila Cruz probably remembers that game pretty well. But you know, wag na tayo maghuhula kung anong nararamdaman ni Trisha Genesis dito sa bagong team niya. Kung natutuwa nga ba siya because she had a big game that last time out. We don't have to guess because Jana has the goods for us.
Exactly. The answer to that, Chiki and Neil, is yes, she's loving her time so far at the Capital1 Solar Spikers. I got to catch up with her. 12 points in what is her second to the last outing in her first conference with the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Her first few games pa nga, a little refresher, just joining the team right after the holiday break. A little challenge though. It was her first time working with a tall setter like her ate Iris Talanada. But you know what? That Trisha Genesis tells me that this constant adjustment that they are working on, something to look forward to in the coming conferences. That gelling, that chemistry. I think we can't wait to see more of that in the future.
We cannot wait. And you know, we cannot wait also to see how she's going to fare against the players coming, because Zeus, we're going to talk about Zeus now. They had such a big game against Signal. I mean, they're coming in strong and very confident because they're able to take Signal. So let's see how Trisha and the rest of the team of Capital1 will be able to go up against these the ZUS Thunderbelles. Starting off, with these two players who were scoring in the 20s against Signal. Neil.
That's Chai Troncoso
Yeah.
and Chini Arroyo. Here in the PVL, we can see that the coaches have been trying to field in the mix of veterans and young guns. And for Coach Jerry Yee, this dynamic duo definitely clicked. They combined for 41 points. And they also contributed 17 receptions for Chai Troncoso and 18 excellent digs for Chini Arroyo. So again, their fate is in their hands. So if they bring the same numbers today, they can see themselves in the quarterfinals.
Grabe si Chai, and I think everybody will agree that she was indeed a revelation, lalo na when she played against her former team. I don't know kung motivation yon. Gusto niya ipakita, but 21 big points. I mean, that is huge. Of course, Chini Arroyo with 20 points, like you mentioned as well. Now, let's move over to another, integral player. Hindi naman magagawa nitong si Chai at si Chini yung ganyang output if not for the excellent sets coming from Clo Mondoñedo of Signal.
Yeah, Clo Mondoñedo was the reason for the smooth offensive pattern of ZUS Coffee in that game against Signal. She's currently number 4 in setting and also number 5 in serving. So she has been aggressive on that service line. 4 players are in double digits because of her, and she really tore the defense of the Signal HD Spikers in that game.
Yes, and I love that combination between Chini Arroyo and Chai Troncoso. I got to talk to both of them, but first I'll share to you what my conversation with Chini Arroyo went about, because I asked her how the game go and she told me finally may panalo na kami na 5-setter. If you recall, they had these intense 5-setters in the qualifiers against Creamline, against Chocomucho, and what Chini told me, it's really just the lessons that are coming to fruition today. And you know, that game was just last Tuesday. It was a huge one, but they only had a 1-day rest, which was just yesterday. So that's how they celebrated. And coming into today and in their future games, if ever they are, Chini Arroyo tells me in her Cebuano language, hatang tanan, which I'm gonna click my translate button here. That means give everything in English. Well, give everything. Chini Arroyo and the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles will be watching. But you know what our PVL fans could give? Their answer to our Pilipinas Live poll question of the game, because we are asking which team will flourish in crunch time. Will it be the Capital1 Solar Spikers or the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles? Go ahead on the Pilipinas Live app and take your pick.
All right, this is our last game before the quarterfinals begin. So we are excited to see who the final roster will be coming up Saturday as the quarterfinals. All right, so we will leave you very briefly, and when we return, we will hear from Mondoñedo to see what her thoughts are coming into this game, and we will get started with the last game in the play-in here in the PVL. We'll be back.
Klo, pakinggan mo ako, ha? Ang cute ko dyan. Hey, Klo, hear me out. I want to improve my setting skills and decision-making skills. Kasi last conference, nakita ko pa kung ano pa yung mga dapat kong trabahuhin and alamin. Kasi ang dami ko ng mga veteranong nakaharap dati. And yun, nalaman ko na ang layo ko pa pala talaga. I think naman kahit pa paano, may in-improve naman yung little Klo sa Klo ngayon. And malayo na, pero malayo pa talaga. Continue lang ako sa hard work ko and yung mga goals ko dyan, I think hindi ko pa siya fully na-accomplish. So, continue lang, laban lang. I think my team needs to improve yung maturity talaga sa game eh. Because we were able to like makipagsabayan sa ibang teams but then kinakapos talaga kami sa dulo. So I think maturity talaga. Kahit pa paano nadagdagan naman yung maturity but then nagkukulang pa rin talaga. Especially ng mga past games namin, nakikipagsabayan na yung team. Lalo na yung addition ni Ate Jov, addition ni Ate Chai, addition ni Thea. Malaking bagay siya sa team. And ang daming nilang tinuturo sa team na medyo hindi pa familiar sa team. So, ayun, ang dami naming nag-game from them. I promise that I will give my best this whole conference and then hopefully sana makaabot tayo until the end. My advice to you is that mag-enjoy ka lang, ipakita mo sa lahat kung ano yung kaya mong gawin and show them all na kaya mo makipagsabayan sa kanila. Natouch ako sa sarili ko, may sinabi pala akong ganun. Pero my advice to myself right now is that same lang, enjoy ko pa rin yung opportunity na binibigay sa akin. Enjoy ko rin yung moment with my teammates kasi minsan lang naman mangyayari na makakasama ko sila talaga ng matagal. So ayun, continue lang, laban lang. Malayo na, pero sobrang layo pa. So, keep fighting and give your best every game and every practice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the PhilSports Arena in Pasig City and the 2025 season All-Filipino Conference of the Premier Volleyball League, the heart of volleyball. This is the final match of the play-in tournament where a win today is needed to qualify for the next round. For match number 78, let us welcome our Capital1 Solar Spikers and their challengers, our ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles. Presenting our officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Arlindo. First referee, Ms. Josie Del Rosario, FIVB International Referee. Second referee, Mr. Arlindo Eusebio, National Referee. Let's call on our starting lineup from our Capital1 Solar Spikers. Let's begin with their team captain. She wears jersey number 14, May Jennifer Macatuno. At number 5, Des Clemente de Guzman. Wearing jersey number 6, Trisha May Genesis. Number 15, Heather Ann Ginoo. Wearing jersey number 16, Noriel Julia Ipak. At number 22, Laila Jane Cruz. Starting libero is number 19, Roma May Doromal. Head coach, Mr. Roger Gorayev. Presenting our Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. Team captain wearing jersey number 8, Chloan Mondoñedo. At number 1, Michelle Gamit. Wearing jersey number 3, Thea Gagate. At number 5, Claudine Troncoso. Number 9 is Gail Pascual. And number 10, Chini Arroyo. Starting libero is number 14, Dolly Verzosa. Head coach, Mr. Jerry Yee. This match is under the supervision. Match number 78. Play it tournament.
The starters for the Solar Spikers, as you see, Trisha Genesis right away starting, part of the starting unit. Very fresh, starting just this year, 2025, with the Solar Spikers, moving, of course, from Akari. And now for the Zeus Thunderbelles, this is the all-important game for Zeus because they want to keep playing on, and this is their chance. They just have to win against Capital1. And they did a very good job coming into this game, beating Signal, which is great for their morale, I think. But the last time these two teams met in the qualifiers, it was also a sweep by Zeus against Capital1.
I said this in the preseason pa lang. I believe that Zeus Coffee is the dark horse of this tournament. That was a big win against the HD Spikers. And ngayon, they only need one more win to make it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
If they lose this game, though, Signal yung papasok sa ating quarterfinals. So it doesn't matter kung ilang sets ang abutin ng Zeus Coffee today. It's just important for them to win. But you also want to win in convincing fashion because you want to bring that kind of momentum heading into the quarterfinals.
Yan yung spoiler alert na sinasabi natin because Capital1 is not even fighting to get a foot in the door. They are just, maybe it's also for pride. They want to end the season on a high note, but in so doing, they might just take Zeus out of contention.
That's correct. And it is fun to spoil the party. I'm sure the teams in that position really love, parang gusto talaga na guluhin yung standings natin.
Yeah, and I think any team should go out there and play every time, whatever the circumstances are, especially here in the big leagues, in the PVL. But look at the score. Zeus Coffee with an early lead here. A good first ball right to the setter, and that worked out. Leila Cruz, we're talking about Leila Cruz at the top of our coverage. Those 2 points are both hers for Capital1. So number one and number 2 picks are on the floor today.
That is also a good matchup, both coming from the La Salle program, but they are on different sides right now, from teammates to now competitors.
Yeah. And let's bring in Jana Ejido for her early report. Go ahead, Jana.
Well, that Zeus win versus Signal was unlike any other for Chai Troncoso, who not just tallied a monster 21 points, but also notched the win against her former team. Chai went on to share with me, dati bench player lang ako sa Signal at never ko talagang na-consider yung self ko as a veteran. Grateful lang ako na nagbunga yung path ko dito sa Zeus. Chai went on to share how she didn't even know what role she will be playing in her first months at Zeus, but time did direct her to be one of their leaders, now on the edge of a quarterfinals berth. What do you think of Chai Troncoso's journey so far as a Thunderbelle champion?
You know, you're right about that, Jana. A lot of these players, I mean, even Trisha Genesis, I think when you are in a very established team, you get less playing time, and therefore, you know, you aren't really discovered, or you aren't given credit for what you can do. And this is what we're seeing here now with Chai and both Trisha and Chini Arroyo also.
When she transferred to Zeus Coffee, we just knew that she was gonna crack that starting unit. Right now, she is leading the team, not just in offense, but talagang dinidisplay niya yung all-around skill set niya. She's very vocal on the floor. And paminsan, pag bago ka sa isang team, may factor na nahihiya ka pa to really speak up. But that's not the case for Chai Troncoso.
And Zeus still with a 2-point advantage early in this first set. De La Cruz now with the serve. It's going to be a free ball. The Solar Spikers. Genesis. That gets away from Versosa, but Arroyo will save it. Another chance here for Capital One. And a little miscommunication there. We wanted the running attack, but doesn't look like Des Clemente was ready for that.
That is one of their best plays, supposedly, but that connection should be polished because we know that Des Clemente de Guzman can go to those slide attacks.
There's another attempt. Good block. Oh, Mondoñedo! So tricky. And that is certainly something to spice up this game. Mondoñedo with a 1-2.
And Flo Mondoñedo is number 5 in the serving category. She has been aggressive also on those 1-2 plays.
Yeah, I mean, landing number 5, we'll talk about that when we come back after this first tactical timeout.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Here in the PVL All-Filipino Conference, we have finally gotten to this stage. It was a long time coming, although now in retrospect, parang ang bilis din eh. Bigla nandito na tayo, Nate.
Again, the quarterfinals will start on Saturday. It's going to be best of 3 series. 7 seats have been secured. Only one is left. So will it be ZUS Coffee or will it be the Signal HD Spikers?
Oh, that got through. So Genesis will score on that one. First point for Trisha Genesis. Winner here of that last ticket will play Petrogas in the quarterfinals. So the number 2 against the number 7 seed, which is what we are determining here. Running attack coming from Zeus this time. Back row attack. Back to Capital One. Oh, that's Clemente using her height. One more time for, oh, that was inside. So you can see that Chai is very persistent. Just hindi niya talaga tinantanan, and she managed to get the point.
That will be the second point for Chai Troncoso. Flo Mondoñedo also has 2 points.
De La Cruz will just send it over. Another chance here for Klo. And that one is inside. And things are looking good for ZUS Thunderbelles. That one, Garachini Arroyo. This time the other Thunderbelle that we highlighted in the opening.
Attacks just keep on coming for the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles. Again, the 2 outside hitters have been on a scoring spree in their last few games.
This time, Des Clemente getting the point.
And yung kanina pa nila tinatry na establish because we know that she can just utilize her height and spike reach to get through the first line of defense of ZUS Coffee.
That's good reaction time for Chai Troncoso. Twice saved by Chai. But that one's outside. Good effort, though. We see the commitment of Chai Troncoso in defense. Oh, big swing. Ang lutong.
She has always been a power hitter.
That spike of the set brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan. Running it back again, and that's an easy point. Impact will contribute to her first point.
May significant advantage talaga if both of your middle blockers are comfortable going to those slide attacks. Some middle blockers just prefer the A quicks and B quicks. But if you can run those slides, ang laking advantage niyan to split the blockers of ZUS Coffee.
And now we're seeing Thea Gagate in action. You know, he have two of the tallest players in the league. Thea Gagate and Des Clemente are probably among the tallest in the entire tournament. And Leila Cruz finds the line. That one's inside. 3 points for Leila Cruz already.
Look at that hit from Leila Cruz. Getting past the block of Gil Pascual, actually. Didn't want to challenge the block of Thea Gagate, went down the line.
4-point advantage still for Zeus Coffee. And that one's outside. Very close, but called outside by the lines judge. Still the advantage with Zeus. As we take a look at Coach Jerry thinking about his next move. Montañero pushing it out. Pascual. Back row attack. Good defense by the Solar Spikers. Genesis. Oh, great save. The liberos showing up. And that time, Oliver Sosa tried but couldn't keep it in play. May yak talaga si Heather Gino. Kumisa nakakatulong.
Yeah, before, ang default ng out-of-system plays ay laging papunta sa left pin hitter. But now, with the evolution of women's volleyball, you can see that these pipe attacks can also be a solution to those broken plays.
They definitely come in handy. And slowly but surely, the teams are perfecting that option. Oh, look at Solar Spikers just really defending the net there.
It's all thanks to their defense. They're getting a lot of good touches in the back row. And now, they're just solidifying their net defense.
That's 3 points in a row for the Solar Spikers. Tough serve. And here's a chance. Will they make it even? Good stop. Oh!
Buddy there.
And, well, that's really tough because Flo Montañedo got that first ball and nobody wanted to take the second. And just like that, we are tied at 12 and we have a timeout.
Doon kayo lalakas ng atake. Nilalambutan nyo ron, pinipilit nyo rito.
Let's go. Pag nakaset up tayo doon, turn natin, huwag tayo bigay ng easy ball, ha? GD na lang kukuha ng set pag nasa front. Pero kapag nasa front, okay yan.
Ladies, focus tayo sa 1 point muna, ha? 1 point muna, side out tayo.
Doon.
Let's go. Ang ganda kasi na-receive ni Chai kanina, tapos hindi natin nasa side out. So kung wala receive, gawa natin ng paraan, heal tayo.
Let's go!
I love how Jovelyn Gonzaga took over that timeout as a person observing the game from the bench.
From the
Ang
bench.
dami niyang small details na nakikita. And again, when you have 3 attackers in the front row at yung setter yung unang nakakuha ng first pass, it's really up to the libero to set that up so that you can still run your offense.
And we really saw the emotion also from Jerry Yu, which is rare. But he was very emphatic about his instructions because ang laking hinabol ng Capital 1. I mean, they squandered that lead. And Jerry Yee, as we know, rarely gets that emotional.
Coach Jerry knows that he has a strong front line. You have Troncoso, Gagate, and Pascual.
Yeah, and we also got a glimpse of a deep bench. Of course, we haven't seen Jov Gonzaga in action. Kate Santiago is also there. Marami pang ibubuga itong Zeus. Meantime, The Solar Spikers holding their own. And Pascual gets that one through.
Again, it's about the balanced distribution for Mondoñedo. All the attackers are getting their preferred sets from their playmaker. They have been converting off offense.
Lead back to Zeus. And Genesis tried but couldn't get through. Good rebound there for Zeus. Another chance. Mondoñedo back set to Pascual again. That one's outside. And the Solar Spikers need to just let it go.
There will be a challenge on the floor. It's going to be a block touch challenge.
This
Again, it's a
is
ZUS Coffee.
Yeah. First challenge we're seeing today.
The call was reversed. There was a check ball.
No need for the challenge, apparently. So the point and the ball will go to Zeus. Lead back to 3. Zeus Coffee, if they win this, they go straight to the quarterfinals. If they lose this, Signal will go. Oh.
Leila Cruz has been on fire.
That's 4 points for Leila Cruz. We are right about talking about her at the top of the coverage. She is really an integral part of the Solar Spikers team. Genesis sending it over. Not quick. Nakuha sa tangkad. Kaya Gagate, 3 points now. And we are at our second technical timeout. We'll be back.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
SB Finance, ang BFF na malalapitan. Got some BFF, some friends enjoying the action here at the Phil Sports Arena. Chicky Roapuno with Neil Flores and Janay Hido completing our panel. And for those of you just joining us now, this is a crucial game for ZUS Coffee. Because of their upset win against Signal, they took Signal in 5 sets. Very exciting game. They are now poised to entering the quarterfinals, leaving Signal just holding on to the last hope of getting in. That's if Capital One wins this game. It's hard for Signal because their fate is not in their hands. Kumbaga maghihintay lang sila ng resulta.
That was a hard-fought 5-set match for ZUS Coffee. Signal came back in set number 4, but ultimately it was really Zeus who did better in that game.
Wow. That's a quick, a big point. Another one for Gamit. That's her first, actually. So you're right about the distribution of Mondoñedo. Everybody's getting a chance to score here.
Clemente de Guzman is currently pacing all scorers from Capital One. She is tied with Leila Cruz at 4 points. Again, sa slide, sila nakakuha ng mas maraming puntos compared to those simple quick attacks. And as for ZUS Coffee, they're not complicating things.
Yeah.
Balance yung distribution, pero basic pa din yung plays nila. Sets to the left and right pin. Couple of quick attacks.
Well, it's
Pagsakto yung timing.
Oo nga eh. Wala namang kailangan palitan, as you can see. And, you know, we were talking about that encounter with Signal right before this game. So I'm sure that contributed much to their confidence. The confidence of the wing spikers, you know. They come in here just feeling good about their plays and their efficiency. You know, Doug. And again, a save, this time from the Solar Spikers. Chola Alvarez on the floor. Running attack. And that one is inside or outside.
That is outside. But
It looked like it was in, but the lines judge said out. We'll take a timeout.
Ngayon, kailangan, hindi mamaya. Ngayon na. 19 na sila, huwag kayo makipag-isahan. Talo tayo lamang sila ng 4 eh. Kung makikipag-isahan lang kayo, ay wala. 25-20 ang score. Double effort kayo. Ha?
Yes,
May?
Yes, coach. One step.
Sige.
Yes, sir.
Pati lang yan.
Sige. So, Capital 1!
Tama nga naman, you can't avoid it as we take a look at some of the Farm Fresh Foxies, just relaxing, having a good time. They finished their season. And watching many of their former teammates here as well. And listening to Coach Roger, kasi di mo maiiwasan, may konting math pa rin dito sa sports because he's talking about how the Solar Spikers can no longer afford a side-out game. Hindi pwedeng side-out, di sila abot. Mauuna sa 25 ang Zeus.
Capital One has been banking on their floor defense to get their own chances to attack the defense of ZUS Coffee.
But talking about defense, Zeus has also been able to cover their floor. And good heads-up play there. I mean, you got to give credit to Angel Gamit, who was really just kept with the ball, did not lose concentration.
For Coach Roger, kailangan maging aggressive ka when you're a middle blocker. And I saw him clapping a while ago. That is a stamp of approval. Now, the veteran will check in. Jovelyn Gonzaga will replace Gail Pascual as their opposite hitter.
Jov scored 8 points against Signal. And she was the target of that serve right when she came in. You know, again. Good dig by Chai. Arroyo. With a put away. That's her 3rd point. And Zeus up by 3. And we have another substitution at the serve. Aying coming in. Service specialist with that floater handled there by Chola Alvarez. Little confusion on the Solar Spikers side, but they're able to defend against that quick from Gagate, but not the roof. Too effective. And that block of the set brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
Di mapapalo yan, magdadrop na lang ng bola yan. Suportahan nyo, pag nandun coverage kagad tayo. Nakaka-resist naman tayo eh. Problema, pag may pumapalo, yung pumapalo sa atin ang pinapanood nyo, tingnan nyo yung bola doon sa block. Hindi nyo maaabot kahit mabagal yung bola. Kailangan yan eh. Hindi na sila dapat pumunta sa...
Reaction time is so important when you're setting up the support behind the attackers. Tama yun eh. Sometimes when the outside hitters get blocked multiple times, nawawala ng kumpiyansa, and pag nangyari yun, they revert to soft touches, drop balls, and mas maliit yung tsansa na pumatay yun. That's why they have to give their all-out support
Ipa, off the hand of Ay.
And I think that is the advantage also coming out of that 5-setter against Signal with Zeus, with both Chini Arroyo and Chai Troncoso. That's the kind of confidence they're bringing. Kaya kung humataw sila ngayon, feeling nila kasi meron talagang didepensa sa kanila. They will get the cover they need as we speak. Chola Alvarez there with good floor defense. And that's outside.
Again, Capital One has been successful in popping up the balls. But again, yung third touch nila, sometimes they commit those unforced errors kahit na advantage na sila in terms of counter-attacks.
Yeah.
Leila Cruz has been consistent this set. 5 points already.
So far, it's been Des Clemente, Heather Ginoo, Ipak. Oh, Heather Ginoo with 1 point. Ipak has 4, but it's Cruz with the most points from the Solar Spikers with 5. Right pin. Good rebound, good coverage there by Zeus. Gonzaga stopped. Solar Spikers going for the offense. And we have a rally here. Broken play. You got to really hand it to the Solar Spikers, really guarding the net here. And all of that, talagang chinaga. And all of their effort not wasted. Solar Spikers will score that difficult point.
That was a great play from May Makatuno. Look at that. Leila Cruz approaching for a back quick. They used her as a decoy, and that opened up Ipak for that slide attack.
This is a 2-point lead now for Zeus. Wow, it's too tough for Rivera. Gonzaga showing her strength and power behind her hits that we all have known and have expected from the Bionic Ilongga.
It's another full front line for Coach Jerry. And alam niya, pag kailangan niya ng taong sanay sa endgame, kailangan niya si Robelyn Gonzaga, and she always provides those crucial points on the other side. Ipak will get one back for Capital One of that peak quick play. She's been running different types of quick attacks.
This is a tough one. Mondonero had to chase after that one. Again, the coverage of the Solar Spikers. Alvarez stopped. Good rebound here for Zeus. Gonzaga will go, using that risk. Ginoo with a stop. Good rallies we're seeing. Cruz again blocked by her former teammate. Another bounce. Great anticipation by the floor defense of Zeus and of Solar Spikers. Look at this rally. Wow. I mean, we were holding our breath there to see how long it was going to go, but Leila Cruz, sometimes that happens. I guess the adrenaline, or it just gets the excitement. You feel it on the court. Also, the energy you can't contain, and that long rally ending with an unforced error by Leila Cruz.
Sometimes also when you become too eager to convert the attack into a point, bumababa yung contact sa bola. So they have to be careful. They have to be patient. Because this is going to be the trend this game. We will see a lot of long rallies between these two squads.
And that looks like it's going to be set point. Because there is a check ball called against... Oh, there's a challenge first. Okay, so this is, why not? Coach Roger challenging the game-winning point. Or the set-winning point. But you're right, we've seen the rallies already build up here in the latter part of this first set. We noticed that it took a while for both teams to heat up, but I think you're right. This is the way it's going to be for the rest of this match. Solar Spikers were not able to enjoy a lead in this first set, but they kept within 4 points. Hindi naman lumayo sa 4 points ang advantage ng Zeus. The Capital One had early lead in the first part, maybe first 2 points. We're looking at a black touch challenge, which I think it's pretty much, it was the check ball was seen by everyone, but this is the set point, so let's see. Okay, no black touch. So mukhang tama yung ginawa niya.
The intention was there for Jovelyn Gonzaga. She wanted to go for a swipe, but the ball hit the tape of the net. Now the official score is 22 for Capital One, 24 for ZUS Coffee.
That challenge might just be a game changer. And here comes Solar Spikers. Alvarez has dug. Oh, again, those errors. The mistakes this time by Ted Clemente. Just a little eager, like you said, because there was a chance for them to go at it one more time. But this is going to be ZUS Coffee's set. First frame out of the way. 25-22 is the score. We'll talk more about it after the break.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
The Capital1 Solar Spikers kept it close, but in the end, it was the ZUS Thunderbelles winning set number 1, 25-22. The rallies started coming. We counted about 4 for the last couple of points. And let's take a look at the highlights, Neil.
The numbers were really close in set number 1. Efficiency was the same for Capital One and ZUS. It's just that there were long rallies. Kung saan napifeel natin na nagiging impatient yung Capital One. They could have set up another counter-attack. Pero dahil nagmamadali sila, mas nagkakamali. So they have to be careful about those small balls. And in terms of floor defense, both had 20 excellent digs. That's why we saw a lot of long rallies, attacks, blocks, and even in serving, dikit lang yung number. So it was really about the small details in set number 1.
And you know, if we just noticed, we never had to call out, or I don't think we saw any errors at the serve, because that has been an issue of late in some of the games that we've been covering, because they want these heavy serves. It becomes a cause for concern, but all the serves were pretty clean in that first set. All right, and now Solar Spikers will call in Iris Olenada, as she will be calling the shots for this second set. And I mean, you can say she is the more experienced setter. She was part of the national team, also a coach. I think she's coached also in the US. Let's see if this change will matter for the Solar Spikers. Kate Santiago also in the game, scoring right away. How about that?
First point on her first attempt.
100% efficiency for Kate Santiago. But we've seen what she's done. I mean, even in her UAAP days when she was still with Farm Fresh also. Kate Santiago, one of the old reliables. Good stop by Thea Gagate. And again, another one. That went right back. She didn't expect it.
It was 50-50. It could have gone out, but that ball found the line. She was hoping na hindi sana papatak sa loob yung bola.
Oh, parang lumagpas na kay Pascual, pero sa tangkad ni Thea, nahabol pa niya before she got down. But there is a... What's going on? Is there a challenge? Oh, it's a net touch challenge. A very early one. On the second point. Did you see anything? You know, sometimes, particularly for Zeus, because this is a crucial game for them, meron talaga mga nakabantay eh. But this time, it's an antenna touch challenge. And it is the Solar Spikers calling for it.
I think they're going to check if the ball hit the antenna after it hit the hands of the blockers.
I mean, why not enjoy this last game of the season? Looking at the last time these two teams met up, it was a three-setter. The first set went 31-29. Zeus took that one, and then it was easy after that, 25-15, 25-50 for Zeus. But it was Jarrell Singh who scored in double digits for Capital One in that game. Let's see. So did it touch the antenna?
Nope,
No,
it didn't.
no.
So that will be unsuccessful for Capital One.
So the point stays with Zeus. Coach Roger said, bakit hindi? Or actually maaga, because now he's left with just one challenge. You're talking about the service errors that there were none in the first set. Let's bring in Jana Hido for her report.
Hey, Chigi and Neil, for Leila Cruz and Roma Darmal. Today is the last day of their rookie seasons right here in the PVL. And I got to speak with Roma about this, and she shared with me how as challenging as her rookie year was, she's immensely grateful for all the experiences that came along with it. Her rookie season this season taught her how to adjust at madadala daw niya ito in the future. As she tells me, hindi na ako maninibago in the future. Nonetheless, what made it special for her was truly the bond between the Solar Spikers that she hopes will stay intact, because they sure are a solid set of people. Now let's get back to set number 2 with the Solar Spikers chasing this lead from the Thunderbelles.
Thanks so much, Jana. You know, talking about the rookies in the season, there were so many to watch out for. Really, even in the ranks of the collegiate ranks, talagang ang mga bata, they are making a big difference really in this sport already. They start early.
And after their rookie season, tumataas agad yung expectations for these players.
Yep, these rookies eventually become legends, as we say, coming out of UAAP. Here come the rallies. That was a good chase there, but it ends abruptly. Kate Santiago couldn't keep that going. And Leila Cruz will get her 6th point.
They did that same play again. This time they didn't use Leila Cruz as a decoy. Iris Tolenada set that up for a back quick play.
Back set. Pascual, good up by Iris. Ginoo from back row. And this is going to be a freebie. Solar Spikers get to set up again. Oh, wow. You know, it's tough when you have Gagate teamed up with Troncoso just manning the net. And the block of the set right here. Let's take a look at it. That one brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
Yeah, the touch was just too soft for Leila Cruz. If you want to deliver a drop ball, kailangan mataas din yung clearance, because the blockers are already there for ZUS Coffee.
Good dig by Thea Gagate from the back there. Broken play here. Oh. And then nakita si referee Jocelyn Del Rosario.
And we're seeing John Narit as a middle blocker for ZUS Coffee. Both coaches opting to go for new players in the starting unit here in the second frame.
Good snap there by Pascual, but also the defense working for Solar Spikers, and Alvarez will get another point. Or that is her first, actually.
Smart hitting from the veteran in Shola Alvarez, just using the block of ZUS Coffee to get that point. It was already a tight block from ZUS Coffee, but the hit had enough power.
Pascual getting it through, but look at the Solar Spikers fight. Oh, bumalik! Another chance here for Zeus. That's tight over there. Good touch by the blockers of the Solar Spikers, and the defense almost. It was just the ball getting into the net and the timing of Tolenada trying to save it.
It's point number 3 for Kit Santiago. This time off that pipe.
High efficiency, Kate Santiago. Negos, good save. Back row attack, Santiago with a dig, but ball back to the Solar Spikers. Alvarez going up again. Here comes Chai. Oh, great power tip. Saw the campfire, the donut hole, yeah.
You just know na pinabasa talaga ni Chai Troncosa yung depensa nung nasa kabilang court, because we saw different types of hits already from Chai Troncoso, from powerful hits to soft punches. This time.
And if you're the Solar Spikers, you're guessing which one is she going to come up with today, kasi depende rin kung saan ka papwesto. Oh, Montañedo again. Oh, this time she was caught by the Solar Spikers. Running attack, not it. Stopped. Good rebound. You know it will go up. This time, you know, read that one from Santiago. Back row attack from Alvarez. Great defense from both squads. And sayang itong mga save na to. Rivera must be frustrated because she went for that ball, actually saved it, but then it died. And so ZUS Coffee is now with a 3-point lead in the first technical timeout.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Watch it all live on the UAP Varsity channel, One Sports and Pilipinas Live, because legends start here. Our boss Miko Halili, the head of sports and content of Signal TV, and he has been a busy man with all of the volleyball action, both in UAP and also here at the PVL. And
May Spikers turf pa tayo.
May Spikers turf pa nga pala. And over the UAAP, we're getting ready for round 2, of course, the all-important quarterfinals here also in the PVL. And we're glad you're joining us wherever you might be on the Pilipinas app, or if you're watching us on One Sports Plus. Chikiro Opuno with Neil Flores and John Ahido at your service. Ito Ginoo.
I-execute yung play ng maayos eh. Galaw niya yung paa niya sa depensa rito. Wala namang kakaiba doon sa ginagawa nila eh. Basic na basic, quick, tas dalawang o-open doon sa dulo. Kaya pagka yung target natin, wag silang maka-receive. Para yung bola, open na lang ang iintindihin natin. Hindi na natin intindihin yung middle. Ha? Dalawang dulo, siguro doon yung mababay.
We pointed that out earlier also na walang masyadong complicated plays yung Zeus Coffee. They're just setting the right spacing para malusin yung net defense ng Capital 1. Again, Capital 1 has been getting a lot of excellent digs naman din against the attackers of Zeus Coffee. It's just that Zeus Coffee has been relentless on the floor. They've been delivering a lot of powerful hits.
Oh, wow. Talk about powerful hit. That one coming from Narit. And she was pulled in the second set. Now we're seeing Zeus after that spike of the set. Brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng Bayan. We're seeing Zeus showcasing the depth of their bench here.
Wasn't an easy set from Mondoñedo. A kneeling set to the middle blocker.
Ito Ginoo, blocked. Another chance for Heather. Kate Santiago soft on that one. Good read on the other side. Santiago now using her power. Good coverage for Rivera. Again, just really, Rivera, you gotta hand it to Solar Spikers libero. She's working hard, but the breaks are going the way of Zeus now. But, you know, you credit the blocking, actually on both sides, but more successful from Zeus.
I love the support system of Zeus Coffee. They've been cheering for Joanne Narit. Every time she gets a point. Kakaiba yung celebrations ng Thunderbelles now. Chai Troncoso will add on to her tally. That will be an ace for her. The lead has now ballooned to 8 points for Zeus Coffee. They do want to replicate their previous performance against Capital 1. That was also a 3-set victory.
But we've seen service errors all from Zeus already. 3 to count in this second set alone. So that's something that they want to also pay attention to. I mean, this is a big lead, as you said. The Solar Spikers, they have a lot to catch up on in the second set. A little lopsided here compared to how the first set went. Kate Santiago again, and she is hot today. Right away, 5 points from the second set alone.
Flo Mondoñedo has been delivering the preferred sets of her attackers. Iba-ibang players on the floor, iba-iba ding preferred sets.
And that is really the role of the setter, to makuha mo yung korsonada ng teammates mo, and that how you know that they're effective. And we're seeing after that point by Ipak, who has 7 points. She is the top scorer for the Solar Spikers. But back to Mondoñedo, I mean, the spread really of the points with Zeus, Troncoso on top with 7, and the rest contributing 3 to 5 points each. Gagate back on the front.
Australia.
And that's a quick point for the Solar Spikers.
Reverse setting now working for Iris Colinada. The Leila Cruz found that opening down the line. Angle was open for her.
First ace, look at that. Much needed boost for Capital One. Lead is down to 5.
Since wala nang masyadong ginagawang complicated plays yung Zeus Coffee right now, maganda yung ginagawa ni Iris Tolenada. You take them out of system so that it would be easier for you to set up your net defense. But even if it wasn't a perfect pass from Zeus Coffee, Clo Mondodiedo was still able to deliver that ball to Thea Gagate on that be-quick play.
That's great execution by Thea. Running attack, lumusot. Pero nakuha pa rin ni Santiago. That was tough for Kate Santiago, almost there at the antenna.
Rivera has been solid on the floor.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of digs against the attackers of Zeus Coffee.
And Orendayan will contribute now to the Capital 1 Solar Spikers. Santiago on the right pin, where she wants to be. And Pascual also has been solid. She has been a quiet operator, but look at her. She has 6 points. And we are at our second technical timeout with Zeus Coffee leading by 6.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
The score is 16-10 with Zeus Coffee leading by 6. This is a must-win for Zeus, talking about this entire match, because they want to actually get a chance to play some more after that huge upset they scored against Signal. And so far, so good for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. They won the first set 25-22. Mas dikit yun.
That will be a net fault for Capital One that will be called against Estrella. Lead is back to 7 for the Thunderbelles.
That's a tough serve. Good first ball. Alvarez. Broken play. Pascual will settle for an underhanded set. Nice reach there by Tolenada. Solar Spikers. Good coverage. Here comes Alvarez again. Another chance. A lot of chances here for the Solar Spikers. Almost, not quite. Good idea for Iris Tolenada to just move everything to the right side.
Again, it's the slide attack for Capital One. Ipak now has 8 markers to her name. Karamihan dyan galing dun sa mga slide attacks.
Seems like Iris Tolenada is actually understanding what kinds of sets her teammates need. But they have to get those digs first. This is a broken play. Ipak with the setup. Wow.
And that Gagate wall
Yeah, all alone.
has been getting a lot of defensive stops for Zeus Coffee.
Definitely worth a second look there. Gagate has 7 so far. That's called outside. 4 service errors already for Zeus, or make that 5.
I guess that's the only thing na kailangan nilang i-polish at this point of the game. They're doing well on defense and offense, but again, those unforced errors on the service line have been helping Capital One.
And this is what Zeus wants to do, because they know that Capital One, like you said, has been covering the floor efficiently. They want the quick plays. Gawin agad. Do not allow Capital One to counter.
Okay, dumito ka na. Si Leila na muna pagka-service, ikaw doon sa dulo, sa linya. Tapos kapag bumalik yung bola, kayo magpalit na dalawa. Walang ano dito eh. Nakasiksik kayo lahat dito sa loob. Konti na lang. Konting pa siya. Habulin natin yan.
Capital!
It's not yet over, says Coach Roger. They can still come back from this if they play clean volleyball. Right now, ang nagiging problema talaga would be the conversion, the efficiency in conversion of their attacks.
Yeah. Also the transition. You just need to do it more quickly. Chola Alvarez will get another point. It's a good timeout for the Solar Spikers. And around this time, last set was when Coach Roger reminded the girls, you need to rally points, put them, string them together. And there's a ball touch called against Capital One. So Zeus lead back to 7, and the serve. Let's look at Chai Troncoso's number. So far, 8 for her today. She scored 21 against Sigdal. Big game for Chai against her former team.
Tight.
Santiago pushing the ball in. Sumobra. Inalagay lang ni Kate yung ano to go near the sideline.
Coach Jerry will not use his challenge card. They still have a 6-point lead. So may allowance naman for those kinds of errors.
Santiago, but good rebound here by the Solar Spikers. Orendain. Kate Santiago with the save. Back row attack. Solar Spikers will set up again. Orendain one more time. That one works out.
What a put away from Patty Orendain. Targeting zone 1.
Exact same play. Iris Tolanada has a belief in her players. There's a service error now from Capital One. Aying again coming in at the serve. So you have these serve specialists. Are these serve specialists just discovered along the way? You don't come into a game, or you don't train as a serve specialist, right? They just... Paano ba nangyayari yun, Neil?
I guess during training, pag sa mga scrimmage, there's always that one teammate na pinapahirapan yung first 6. And when the coaches see that, nakikita na, pwede ito pagiging service specialist.
Oo. Although, of course, they usually have other assignments, right? Usually, ang mga setter, magaganda ang mga serves. Nakapagkwentuhan pa tayo dahil ang haba ng rally na yun. Ending with a point for Ipak.
Another slide attack, good to go for Ipak. 1 point away from hitting the double-digit mark. Coach Jerry has been shuffling his players talaga throughout this match. If you remember, nung dating panahon sa volleyball, wala naman masyadong substitutions eh. You really stick with your starting six. Pag merong hindi gumagana, that's the time that you change. But now, we're in that era na nagiging intentional yung mga substitutions. Double subs, every set.
Oh, that was a tough set. Nataas pa ni Iris. Gonzaga now back on the court, and that's a good idea to bring her back in. Sabi mo nga, the crucial times is when you will see the vets come in. Yung mga hindi kinakabog. Although Zeus is way ahead here in the second set.
I also think na nakatulong sa ZUS Coffee yung mga 5-setter matches nila. Even though they only won yung against Signal, that was the most crucial game to win. Pero lahat nung mga learning nila dun sa mga past 5-setter games na natalo nila, we can bring that to the quarterfinals. We know that the game will change once you step into the playoffs.
Right.
And it won't be easy because they will be going up against a high-ranked team.
It's going to be Petrogas that either Zeus or Signal will meet in the first game of the quarterfinals. And the quarterfinals is it a best of 3? Wow, this is really a very interesting tournament format. A lot of chances to stay in the tournament.
Yeah, so even if you're up against Petrogas, you will have multiple chances. Bago rin yung best of 3 na quarterfinals. Again, we congratulate Cherry Tigo for sweeping their group in the play-in tournament. They will be going up against the #1 team, the Creamline Pool Smashers.
ZUS Coffee winning the second set. They're on their way, just needing one more set to make it into the quarterfinals. And we'll talk more about the second frame after we return.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
After that second set win, 25-17, Zeus Thunderbelles are one set away from making it to the quarterfinals the hard way. They really went through the back door. Talking about Zeus Thunderbelles, I think even they really surprised themselves at the way they're able to advance and just get better and better in this conference, Neil.
They're feeling it. Again, they're just one set away from getting their first ever franchise quarterfinals berth. They were able to improve their attacking efficiency in set number 2. Lahat ng pinasok ni Coach Jerry nag-click din. We saw good moments from Joanne Narit, Kate Santiago. Santiago also was a contributor in set number 2. That's why they were able to get more numbers in the attacking department compared to the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Thea Gagate was in charge of their net defense. They tallied 3. Capital1 wasn't able to get their own numbers in terms of defense. But ZUS Coffee had more unforced errors compared to Capital1. So again, yun na lang yung, I guess, inaantay ni Coach Jerry na mabawasan because if they lessen those errors...
Most of that from the service line anyway.
From the service line, mas tataas siguro yung lamang nila against Capital1. But for the yellow shirts, they still have one more chance to extend this one to a 4th set.
We saw some very interesting rallies, and we also saw a change in the manning also here for the Solar Spikers. Some changes here. We are not seeing the first unit, the starting unit, and now more new faces. Soniegos is back on the court. She did have some moments in the first set.
Papalit ulit ng setter si Coach Roger. It will be May Makatuna once again, calling the shots. Now in set number 2, Capital1 actually had more attempts compared to ZUS Coffee. Capital1 had 58 attempts in the attacking department. ZUS Coffee only had 50. Pero mas mataas pa rin yung conversion ng Thunderbelles.
Good blocking from Zeus. That could also be a reason why they had less attempts on the attack, because they can score from the blocks. De La Cruz picked up by Gamit. Arroyo, you heard that.
Yeah. Again, iba pa rin pag live mo nakikita at naririnig yung mapalo ng...
Pero pumasok sa headset, I'm sure narinig nyo rin yan sa inyong mga TV sets. Boom. That was a beauty. Straight to zone 6. Oh, we expect that at least once per set. And Mondoñedo, sneaky. Flo Mondoñedo.
Again, an early 3-point lead for ZUS Coffee. For Capital1, you can't afford to give a lot of those underhand free balls papunta sa ZUS Coffee.
Oh, good almost. When you get Thea Gagate going, that one went into the net though. But when she gets that to work, it's so hard to guard against Thea Gagate because of her height and the speed of her ball. Cruz again going down the line, but too much to the right. And we have a timeout with ZUS Coffee leading by 5.
Hindi mo na maaano yan, makakabig papunta doon sa gitna. Reception ninyo, depensa ninyong dalawa. Laglag na lang na bola, hindi pa natin makuha. Eh paano, naka-atras na kayo doon sa dulo. Eh dyan muna kayo, sa gitna, oh. Kayong dalawa. Pag sinet doon sa kabila, iktad ka rito, labas ka rito. Pag doon naman dito isinet, si May ang lalabas doon sa someone. Napakasimple lang, pinahirap niya.
And Coach Roger was pointing out that they don't need to complicate things. Let's stick to the basics. He gave a couple of options for their offense. Let's see if they can respond to that.
Capital1 still looking to get on the scoreboard here in this third set. Do or die set for the Solar Spikers. Good pickup by Makatuno. Orendain goes up, gets it past the block, and that's point number 1 for the Solar Spikers. Let's bring in Jana Hido for her report.
Hey, Chiki and Neil, I just want to share more of my conversation with Chini Arroyo of the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles earlier, because she was telling me that the team is looking at this match as a huge chance and a huge opportunity that they can definitely not miss out. And even with that 2-0 set lead right now, I recall Chini telling me earlier how she and the team can't be too comfortable, saying nakaisa nga yung Capital sa signal eh. Playing with utmost urgency today. Chini knows the stakes are high and could go even higher for them soon. And to quote her, kailangan lang talaga namin ma-unlock yung steady na fighting spirit namin at magiging worth it nga naman yun. And now let's go back to set number 3, ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles with this lead. Back to you, Chiki and Yan.
Thanks a lot, Jana. Alam mo, totoo yun. Nakaisa nga sila against Signa. That's something that they need to remember. That they have what it takes. Talking about Solar Spikers, they just need to get their game together. And that's 2 points after that crucial timeout that Coach Roger called. Ang medyo nabuhayan ng konti ang Solar Spikers.
Ipak is now in the double-digit mark for Capital 1. Followed by the 7 points of Leila Cruz for ZUS Coffee. Ang ganda talaga ng spread of points. You have Gagati with 10, Troncoso with 9, Pascual with 7.
Good job for Clo Mondoñedo. And that is consistently Clo, because we saw the same kind of distribution in that game against Signal as well.
Back-to-back points for Capital 1. It's like they are responding dun sa huddle ni Coach Roger a while ago.
You know, you did mention that Clo Mondoñedo is the 5th best setter in the league, and that's a lot to say because you know the caliber of setters that we have in the PVL.
Another powerful hit, this time from the right side for Chini Arroyo.
Definitely powerful. You can feel it, and she surprises us because if you look at her length frame, she's not the tallest of players, but it's the timing of contact of her ball and the snap of the wrist. And that one got through.
That was such a difficult set for May Makatuno. Yes, the easier route was to go to Leila Cruz, but the blockers were already there, so she decided to dish that out to Shola Alvarez.
Yeah, ever since she came in the second set, she hasn't been taken out. So Shola Alvarez is the veteran on the court. And Shai Troncoso, the other veteran, now in double digits as well. So we were not wrong to highlight her. And we are at our first technical timeout with Zeus up by 4.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Starting lineup, Mondays to Fridays, 6:30 p.m. live on Pilipinas Live app and One News, also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Back here at the Phil Sports Arena, this is the last day of competition in the play-ins. Today, we will determine the top 8 going into the quarterfinals. Actually, 1 slot left, and that will be filled by either Zeus, if they continue on in their winning ways. They have already taken the first 2 sets, 25-22, 25-17. But in the event of a reverse sweep by the Solar Spikers, it will be Signal getting to play at the quarterfinals. So we know who Signal is rooting for today.
And Zeus is looking to end this in 3 straight sets. They've been solid so far. First 2 frames and having a higher efficiency rate compared to the Capital1 Solar Spikers. And itong mga unforced errors ng Capital1, talagang tinutulungan din yung Zeus to get to the quarterfinals. And Shola Alvarez has been working hard on offense. So
Yeah, she has. She's been working hard all around. Also those saves by Shola Alvarez. Makatuno pushing it out. Die in there. Oh! Again, these missed opportunities for the Solar Spikers. Ball back to Zeus, running attack. Cruz with a save. Rendayan. Again, another chance for the Thunderbelles. Back row attack, Arroyo! But, wow, what a rally. Let's take a look at that solo block of the set. Brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. We know that blocking is probably the Achilles heel of the Solar Spikers, but they have these bursts of excellence at the net. And you can see that they are fired up.
It is now down to 2 for ZUS Coffee. It feels good to get a solid block against an attacker, pero iba yung feeling pag single block.
Single block. I think you're talking from experience, huh, Neil?
Now they are forcing ZUS Coffee to make mistakes also on the pass. Now Julia Ipa continues to score. 11 markers for Julia Ipa. And again, that slide attack has been the source of points for Capital1.
Such a smart play because Dali Versosa was almost there, but tamang-tama lang yung binigay niya na drop shot. Again. Oh, it happened again. Deja vu one more time. And you don't know if it was a mistimed shot or if she intended for that off speed. One more time on that slide.
Defense wasn't ready for ZUS Coffee. Kinulang lang ng isang step forward si Gail Pascual.
And look at this. Capital1 even at 9 points apiece. And lead back to Zeus after that quick point by the Thunderbelles. And you can feel it now. Muntik na magtawag ng timeout dito si Coach Jerry. Nagpipigil. We saw him get emotional in the first set nung naghabol din ang Capital1. Good first ball from Alvarez. Running attack. This time stopped by Zeus. One more chance. Gonzaga setting up Arroyo. Good pickup there by Alvarez. Orindain. Great heads-up play. It has been Julia Ipak. Consistently manning her post. And she has 13 points, Neil.
Yeah, again, aggressiveness will go a long way for Capital1. As long as the intention is to put that ball away. Makikita naman natin yan sa galaw, lalo na pagdating dun sa mga bolang dikit na sa net. But, it is a battle between the slide attacks of Gamit and the Julia Ipak.
That looked good too, coming from Zeus this time. And now it is a side-out game. Oh, service ace. 2 points in a row for Gamit. Michelle Gamit with 5 points already today. That's a big one. Good stop by Jov. Catuno could not get that up high enough. Chance here for Zeus. Wow! And really, the impact player is Ipak. Indeed.
If we can't get it through offense, let's get it through defense. Again, it was a free ball coming from Capital1, but they were still able to read that play from Clo Mondoñedo. Passing has been shaky for ZUS Coffee.
Did not make it. Credit the Solar Spikers for dishing out some good serves. Or even again, let's see kung makakaarangkada na ang Capital One dito. Will they be able to take the lead in this all-important third set? Oh, that's out. And now the errors coming from the girls in blue.
Now at the lead.
Capital One in the lead for the first time here in this third set. Must-win situation actually for the Solar Spikers after having given up the first two sets. We got substitutions happening on the Thunderbelle side. Kate Santiago back in the game. Quick, that one got away from Rivera. And Thea Gagate will score her 11th.
Again, Zeus Coffee just needs to be mindful about those passes. We've seen a couple of shot passes from their end.
Just like that, just a quick point for Shola Alvarez. We talked about how really these quick plays, the quick tempo will benefit Solar because of the efficient floor defense of Zeus.
We're now feeling the confidence from the Capital One Solar Spikers. It started nung ang dami nilang naaangat na bola.
Yeah.
Shola Alvarez was guarding zone number 1 and zone number 6. She got a lot of excellent dicks in the back row. And she's continuing to provide the points for Capital One in the front row. Zeus Coffee will get one back of that Arroyo hit.
We're even at 14 here in this third set. Shola Alvarez. Great defense by Arroyo there. Oh, that one is outside. Leila Cruz contributing her 8th point. Capital One again getting the lead back.
And the decision-making of May Makatuna has been the difference maker here in set number 3. Dami niyang reverse setting. Yun yung gumagana right now for Capital One.
Oh, that's tough. And we know that Kate Santiago has been dangerous from the get-go. It was a good idea for Coach Jerry to bring her back.
That is the downside of having a shorter setter in the front line. Yun yung nagiging immediate target ng outside hitters of Zeus Coffee.
Running attack again, working for Niegos and company. And look at this, Capital One gets to 16 points first. They're up by 1 in the second technical timeout.
Capital One.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays at PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
SB Finance and BFF na malalapitan. Welcome back to the Phil Sports Arena. And we are at set 3 for our last game of the play-ins. Zeus Coffee is looking to get into the quarterfinals via a win in this match against the Solar Spikers of Capital One. And we've got Signal watching this game closely and hoping for a chance to get in to the next round, and that's only if Zeus gives up this match. And we have Mondoñedo still on the floor. And we don't know what's happening, but she's taking her time, holding on to her right shoulder. Mondoñedo has been playing since the first set. She has not had a breather. And we hope it's just a minor thing. I mean, she's touching her shoulder. We know how important it is for your upper body to be okay if you're the setter. Maybe a good chance to just rest her a while. Yandok will get to
This might
play.
be the biggest lead for Capital One the entire game.
Well, let's see if they can capitalize on this, as it were, with their 2-point lead and a new setter on the block. Yandok. That's outside. Santiago with an unforced error. And a quick timeout called by Coach Jerry.
Yun ang goal natin ngayon. Sige, nga.
Time complacent. Hindi ka kailangan talaga mag...
Mix, kumpiyansa ha.
Laban tayo ha. Laban, tara.
Sige, balik. Ginusto natin to eh.
Tatlo lang.
Laban na natin. Na tayo magigising. Antayin pa natin mag 4 sets. Tayo papayag. Ano ba natin?
Strong words from Jovelyn
Yeah.
Gonzaga.
Oh, just the voice of experience, no? Tama nga naman. Ginusto nyo to eh.
And,
Panindigan ninyo.
Tayo din naman yung may dahilan kung bakit may 3-point lead yung Capital One. So we also have to just work harder from this point on.
Also, you saw the Thunderbelles getting behind the backup setter, Nikki Yandok, who is on the court, giving her the confidence boost, their vote of confidence. And that was a timeout that they needed to shake things up. So Zeus now with 2 points to make up after that spike of the set, brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
Single block coverage clearly wasn't enough to stop that attack from Kate Santiago. They will have another chance to get a point. She will get blocked by May Makatuno.
You're talking about the advantage of having or the disadvantage of having a shorter player. That is a cherished point. 1 point for Makatuno, getting it off the block. I'm sure it happens few and far between. But Capital One enjoying a 3-point lead. Jov Gonzaga is on the court. And now it's errors. They are causing their own demise here. ZUS Coffee have to figure things out.
That has been the story for ZUS Coffee in set number 3. It started out with the multiple shank passes by their receivers. Now they're committing attack errors. Now it's a free ball for Capital One.
That one gets through, but Alvarez with the defense. Troncoso will go up with the power tip, and that works all the time. But somebody is at the...
No, Ibak lost her shoe in the middle of the rally. And the shoe was on the floor. Tinapon ni Pat Erendain palabas ng court. Now they're looking for the shoe.
Let's see that one more time. Whoops! No wonder she couldn't jump. Kaya pala hindi makatalon. Well, that's a first. And just when you thought you've seen everything, Neil.
Basta hindi naka-receive, abangan nyo na kaagad yung open. Wala na bang ibang bibigyan ng bola pag hindi naka-receive. Pag naka-receive, abangan ka dudong dun sa unahan. Pag binato sa open, bilisan mo yung block mo doon sa kabila.
Ikaw sa harap na yun.
Kaya kayo.
One pass.
Napa-time out ako nang wala sa oras.
Kapit hard!
Okay lang yun, coach. Hindi rin siya makakatalon kung wala siya sapatos.
And one of those lighter moments. And really a chance for Coach Roger to just keep the momentum going for Capital One. And, you know, they have been doing really well, especially in the second part of this third set. Arroyo with a wind-up. Alvarez with a defense. Orendain wants a free ball for Zeus. Let's see, Narit is back on the court, and she finds the line. Oh, she lucked out on that one. John Narit with a point. 2018, Capital One up by 2, and Jana Ejido is ready with a report.
Chloe Mondoñedo's fall earlier. Let's talk about it. It is on the right shoulder, as you saw on your screens earlier. I was able to speak with the PT of Zeus for a while, who told me that they are still assessing the injury. The team does not want to declare anything yet, but you can see Chloe on the bench. As for her, she's still feeling the pain out on the right shoulder, but good signs. A while ago, she was able to stand up and walk during the timeout, to huddle with the team. So let's just hope for the best for Chloe and for the rest of this match for ZUS Coffee. Back to you, Chiquinho.
Thanks a lot for that update, Jana. And we also got a glimpse of Chloe. She is up on her feet. But really, this is something they need to think about. If they are going to be advancing to the quarterfinals, they have to make sure that she is 100%. But it looks like Chloe is getting ready to get back on the court. She wants to make sure they get to the quarterfinals and then worry about it after.
They need their their main playmaker. Right now, they're looking at a 4-point deficit.
Balik na naman ang bola. And Solar Spikers with another chance. Good up by Versosa there. Rendayan with a wind-up. Where Makatuno go? Oh, that gets through. Leila Cruz gets another point. This is 5 points already. A 5-point lead for Capital One. And they're only 2 points away from winning this third set.
Sense of urgency, guys. Sense of urgency. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Okay ha? Isa pa. Isa pa. Kaya natin yan. Kaya po.
ZUS Coffee has all the tools, lalo na in the attacking department. Yes, it's a 5-point lead, but if they can come up with consecutive points and put pressure on Capital One, they can still come back. But for Capital One, this is the time to be really aggressive on offense.
Oh, it's inside. And I don't think you need to remind Leila Cruz of that, because she has been that and more. Definitely so much more confident for Leila Cruz, and she is on a rampage. She is in double digits.
Zone 6 open.
Set point. A number of set points for Capital One. Looks like we're going for a 4th set here. Arroyo. And here's a chance for the closeout, and Leila Cruz will end set number 3. And the save. Solar Spikers get another chance. They play some more. That's a first set win for the Solar Spikers. Final score is 25-18. So lopsided third set in favor of Capital One. We'll talk more about it after the break.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Take a look at the scores on your screens. A surprising turn of events here. It was already the Zeus Thunderbelles looking like they're on their way to a sweep, and then all of a sudden, nagising ang Capital1 Solar Spikers. Something happened, something clicked, and they didn't look back. Iniwan nila ang Zeus dito sa third set.
Unang-unang kinargahan ng Capital1 yung services nila. Yun talaga yung naging simula for ZUS Coffee. We saw a lot of misreceives on that end, and that resulted to a lot of broken plays. It was easier for Capital1 to set up their own net defense as well. 5 kill blocks for Capital1 in set number 3, and ZUS Coffee was not able to tally a single defensive stop against the attackers of Capital1. And the tables were turned also in terms of efficiency. Capital1 had less attempts, but they converted more on the attacking department compared to the Thunderbelles.
And we heard Jove Gonzaga talking to the girls in that last timeout, talking about the lack of sense of urgency, which was actually very observable. Nakita natin na medyo nag-relax talaga ang Zeus in that third set. Meantime, Orendain has been really a factor, particularly the last part of that third set. Panay ang bigay niya, kahit hindi niya napapatay, napapagalaw niya at pinahihirapan din niya yung kalaban, yung floor defense ng kalaban. And that's a quick point there by Kate Santiago. Easy point for her. One more time. Oh, that's so well executed. Kita niya na hindi talaga aabot si Rivera doon.
And if Zeus wants to enter the quarterfinals, they have to finish it in 4 sets. Because when we reach a 5th set, pwede pa silang madelikado.
Well, that's something they have to keep in mind. I think that should really contribute to the sense of urgency that was lacking in the third set, as pointed out by Jove. Again, these rallies, we're seeing them early in this fourth set. Versosa, nasungkit. Good blocking, but even better coverage. Wow, talagang tinanabaho ng Solar Spikers. Alvarez ultimately gets that point, but you gotta credit the entire team really for coming together. Keep the ball alive, and even her coverage is so good today.
Floor defense and coverage in that last sequence.
Of course, we know that she's been contributing a lot. She's in double digits. Oh, now it's the aces. 16 points. What an all-around game for Julia Ipap.
Capital1 is milking that service line. Confidence is sky high for Julia Ipap. Shola Alvarez has been working double time also.
That's inside, so it's ZUS Coffee. When they decide they're going to score, they do it quickly. And score now is 3-4. Janet Ejido ready with her report.
Chiki and Neil, this is truly the storm that the Thunderbelles were fearing as Capital1 was playing their A game back in set number 3. Now, this brings me back to my conversation, the conversation I had earlier with Trisha Genesis about her hopes for today. And Trisha told me, gusto lang namin ma-overcome ito even if mahirap. Now then, as this would be a culmination of the team's All-Filipino conference run, Trisha adds how she and the team want to show that their sets, plays, defense patterns na pinaghihirapan nila over at training are truly effective under the system of Coach Roger. And Trisha rounds it up by saying it's the bond of the team nga naman daw that should be able to shine through beyond the game in their last game of the conference. Could it be a win? We'll find out if Capital1 could play spoilers. Meanwhile, let's get on with set number 4, Chiquinho.
You know, all of the things that they worked on in training has been on display, particularly in the third set. We saw things really working for Solar Spikers. But Chai Troncoso I think she's feeling the pinch now. She only scored 2 points in the third set. This is her 12th point. So we need to see the likes of Chai Troncoso and Chini Arroyo, of course, Thea Gagate, just get their head in the game. Troncoso, again, the blocking of Capital One. I mean, we talked about how they are in last place when it comes to blocking. And as a team, the Solar Spikers only registered 50 kill blocks in the regular season.
The miscues have been costly for Zeus Coffee.
Tough serve. Troncoso again with a tip. Good read there by Niegos. And Troncoso just decides to just swat the ball away.
Capital One is intentionally setting up a single block against the attackers of Zeus Coffee. But then that will also expose a lot of holes in the backcourt.
And we got Jove Gonzaga still on the court. Like you said, when it's crunch time, you want the veteran, you want the leader to be on the court. To keep everybody stable and keep everybody remind everybody what their roles are. Good serve. Oh, almost saved there by Gonzaga. And again, si Orendain really steady but effective.
Coach Roger was looking for a spark off the bench. It has been Patty Orendain providing that spark. Kakaiba din yung fighting spirit ni Patty Orendain. She doesn't care if there are two blockers in front of her. She will swing away.
Oh, and look at the defense of the Solar Spikers. They just will not allow a ball to land. Great coverage. And Orendain setting things up there. Ipak was blocked. Rally goes on. Orendain goes again. And you talked about just her fearlessness. This girl's got courage. And Capital One gets the 8 points first. They're up by 1.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Back at the Phil Sports Arena, Chiqui Puno with Neil Flores and Jana Ejido for this last game of the play-ins. And the Solar Spikers were trailing 2 sets, 0 sets to 2. And all of a sudden, something happened in the third set. And they took that one 25-18. And tides have changed. It is now Zeus looking to solve the mystery, because Capital One is on top after the first technical timeout here in set 4. I think the Capital One Solar Spikers, Neil, they have no shot in the quarterfinals, but they want to end their conference with a win.
They've been tooling the blockers of Zeus Coffee in the past few sequences. Siguro sa utak ni Coach Roger, sige, palo lang ng palo because we're getting our hitouts. The lead is up to 2 for Capital One. More substitutions on the floor for Zeus Coffee. These are dangerous waters for the Thunderbelles. Because again, Capital One has nothing to lose at this point.
Right.
They're already out of contention for that quarterfinals round of the PVL. They're just playing to win, actually.
Yeah. Why not? This is their last game, and they saw that they're capable of anything after that lopsided third set, 25-18. So they didn't only win, they won big against Zeus. Orendain again, just swatting the ball away. Talagang walang takot. Another chance here with the Solar Spikers set up. Catuno going to Orendain. And now it's a placement shot. She is nearing the 10-point mark, Pati Orendain.
It wasn't the best of sets from May Makatuno, but again, as an outside hitter, you have to adjust. You have to clean up these types of sets.
That's a good first ball. There you go. And of course, if you're just joining us now in our coverage, Mondoñedo had an incident in the third set. We thought it was an injury, but she hurt her right shoulder landing in one of the sequences, but she's back on the court. Jove Gonzaga picked up by Alvarez. Good coverage by Shola Alvarez. Look at Jove Gonzaga. Orendain just making her work hard. And you know, you credit Makatuno going left, right, parang windshield wiper. Although that last one was called outside.
There'll be no challenge from Capital One. We are now tied at 10.
De La Cruz. Versosa saving that one. Gonzaga again. Again picked up by Shola Alvarez. 10 points for Pati Orendain.
Gandang bunot for Coach Roger.
She has been key to this catch-up job that Capital One is pulling. And I think that is one of the factors, though. You take a player like Pati Orendain and below their radar, hindi nila masyadong binantayan, and she is making the difference here for the Solar Spikers.
Oh, there's an
No,
8
took too
seconds violation called on Capital One. So free point for Zeus Coffee.
Well, that's just unfortunate. I wonder if she even knew that the time was already running. And now we're tied at 11. Good serve. Ball still good. Quick. Jove Gonzaga unable to score from the right pin. Broken play. Versosa setting up Jove again. Finally, she gets that point.
Babalik ang lamang sa Zeus Coffee off that Jovelyn Gonzaga swing.
I mean, we know that she is a lefty. She's very comfortable over there as the opposite player, but she has had a hard time in the last passes to get the point. Good bounce, but good defense by Roma Doromal. Again, Thea Gagate. She needs to come up with more of those if they want to win it in 4.
That was the missing piece for Zeus Coffee in the previous set. They weren't able to get any kill blocks against the attackers of Capital One. The Solar Spikers had 5.
Wow, solid. These kill blocks raining on the Solar Spikers. And we have a quick timeout.
Diretso yung palo mo. Talagang mabablock yun. Hindi naman tatangay ng lakas ng palo mo yun ha? Isa nyo, sayang ang lamang natin ha. Tikit mo.
Okay po. Pero ayoko pakinggan ng referee. Repeat mo siya ng kayo. Kaya nga, kinakausap pa ako. Kaya let's go. Yung 8 seconds parang hindi. Sige, okay lang yan. Wala na yun. Let's go. Magpasa. Capital One!
Sometimes you don't need to use 100% of your power on offense. First, you have to look at your blockers. Sino ba yung nasa harap ko? It's Thea Gagate and Chai Troncoso. These two are solid on net defense. So if you're going for a powerful hit, you have to make sure na tama din yung angulo. Because if you're going to challenge it head on, you can expect na babalik lang yung bola ng mabilis.
And thanks for breaking us down, Neil. You basically translating that last huddle. Meantime, the hustle by Zeus. Here's a chance for Zeus on the offense. Gonzaga is picked up again. Oh, Cruz.
Better for Leila Cruz. She went high and long, getting past the first line of defense of the Thunderbelles. And that was a broken play, targeting that seam.
Yeah, and she did it quickly, beating the two-man block, catching them off position. But still, ZUS Coffee up by 2. Arroyo from back row. Here comes Cruz. Another broken play. Chance here for the Solar Spikers. And somebody's at the net, it seems. There's a net violation called against Zeus, and Capital1 refuses to give up.
We're seeing more combination plays from the Makatunog playbook in this set.
That was tough.
Jovelyn Gonzaga just silencing the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Yan yung mga pamatay sunog na kailangan ni Coach Jerry.
And she's been getting her share of touches. Jovelyn Gonzaga spending more time on the court in this 4th set. She started set 4. Looks like she's here to stay. And another broken play. Jov again, and she will score. Point number 6. Sunod-sunod ng puntos ni Jovelyn Gonzaga dito sa 4th set. And we are at our 2nd technical timeout with Zeus up by 3.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays at PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back at the Phil Sports Arena, Chiki Puno with Neil Flores and Jana Ejido, and we are at set 4 in this last game of the play-ins, the last game before the quarterfinals, and the Capital1 Solar Spikers are really digging deep and finding that what they need, the strength really to get past the Zeus Thunderbelles in the 3rd set. So they keep playing after having given up the first 2 sets, and now we're at set 4. The score is 16-13. Zeus is up, but Capital1 keeps on fighting. Good first ball. Again, another broken play. You can see. Oh, but there's a check ball. Will it be called?
Yep, there was a check ball on one of the blockers of Capital1. So now the veteran Jovelyn Gonzaga just taking charge of the offense of ZUS Coffee.
Good serve. That was a tough one. Coach Roger in the way.
Lead is now at 5 points for the blue shirts.
That's a big serve. Bea Cagate, 13 points today. Another good one. Mama Doroman knows what to do. Oh, check ball. That's a point for the Solar Spikers.
9 points already for Shola Alvarez. Using to give up.
Yeah, she's been working double time, both the back row, her defense as a sweeper, and also her offense. Troncoso gets that one through. So this is the intensity that we remember seeing in the first set from Chai Troncoso.
15 big points for Chai Troncoso.
And we really feel now the Gonzaga difference also. Just what she brings on the court. Oh, but just as we say that, see the frustration coming from Jovelyn Gonzaga's face, just allowing that ball to land. But Capital One still down by 4. They did such a great job catching up in set 3. Second ball, that's called inside. Again, the smart Mondoñedo. She's excited about that. Dami na rin puntos to si Chloe. That's 5 points for the setter.
We're just glad that she's okay.
Yeah.
Manabugbog lang yung shoulder niya.
Well, she has been playing overtime. That was a 5-setter, like we said, from Signal. And hindi naman siya ilalabas kung hindi siya, if she didn't go down earlier. Arroyo goes up. Alvarez with a save. Laila Cruz, stopped by Jov Gonzaga. Oh, smart play. Come on. That is point number 6 for Chloe Mondoñedo. And Capital One call for another timeout.
Na-outsmart kayo ng kalaban. Dikit naman yung score, tapos may mga ganyan-ganyan silang puntos. Lalayo yan. Sayang ini-over na yung bola sa atin, hindi pa natin makuha. Huwag kayong i-spread, kahit dadalawa na lang kayong spiker, naka-spread pa kayo. Hindi uubra na ganun. Kahit saan pumunta yung set niya, open dito o dun sa kabilang open dun. Parehas dalawa blocker nun eh. Sobrang taas pa yung set nun eh.
Kapitan!
Capital One has to go back to their defensive pattern. You have to be in the right position. In transition, again, there have been a couple of inconsistencies dun sa pattern nila sa likuran. Walang naiiwan sa likod. That's why Chloe Mondoñedo has scored off of her drop balls.
So some adjustments need to be made on the Capital One side. They did have the lead earlier in this 4th set. Oh, and Joan Narit scoring her 5th point. Again, this is a team effort for Zeus Coffee. Troncoso and Gagate in double digits, and everybody else contributing to the scoring. So Zeus Coffee looking good in this 4th set. Ipak refuses to roll over.
Almost at 20 points. Might just be her best outing so far, All-Filipino Conference.
Gagate stopped. Arroyo will go up. Good defense by Makatuno. It's a broken play. Again, that bounce. What a save by Alvarez. Amazing stuff from Shola Alvarez. Arroyo again. This time going cross court. Iniwasan na talaga si Shola Alvarez.
Arroyo unleashing another bomb. They get to warning point first. They just need 2 points to close this one out.
Good first ball from Roma. Broken play again. It's going to be a freebie. Capital One will set up. Where will Makatuno go? Ooh. Good coverage again by Shola. Ball still up. Here comes Zeus. Gagate. Almost stopped. Great defense by Capital One. Arroyo. And Alvarez knew where to be. Here's that rally we're talking about. And it keeps going. Back row attack, Alvarez. Jov Gonzaga trying to end it, and she does. and just really props to both teams for their commitment. 8 points for
That's 6
Joe
points
Gonzaga.
here in the fourth set.
And dito lang talaga siya estinart ni Coach Jerry na umpisa pa lang nandiyan na si Jove. And now the errors. It took an error to finally win this game, the match for Zeus Coffee. Things happened so quickly in that last part of the fourth set. Zeus Coffee just intent on winning it in 4. They want a place in the quarterfinals, and they secured that after this 4-set win against Capital One. But really, we have to commend the Solar Spikers for putting up a fight. We'll take a quick break. Back in a moment.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
It's a 4-set win for the ZUS Thunderbelles, and they are officially in the quarterfinals of the All-Filipino here in probably the longest conference that we've seen. Jan Ejido is with our player of the game.
That's right, Chiki. I'm with our player of the game, Clo Mondoniedo, the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles, 24 excellent sets and 6 points. Clo, welcome to the quarterfinals. Syempre, I know you're very proud and happy about this. Grabe, 1 day of rest lang. Tuesday, 5 sets. Ito naman, 4 sets. Tell me, how proud are you of this play-in run?
Super proud kasi first time sa franchise namin, and also for me sa crew, makaabot ng quarterfinals. And also, proud ako sa teammates ko kasi talaga binigay nila yung best nila.
Right, tell me about the game naman. What happened in set 3? Parang nagko-cruise na kayo nung set 1 and 2, and paano kayo nakabalik?
In-expect naman talaga namin na lalaban talaga yung opponents namin. So ayun, nag-recover lang talaga kami, and hindi talaga namin bumalik kasi gustong-gusto na talaga namin makuha yung win ngayon.
Alright, and next week, quarterfinals nga. Tell me what's going to be the game plan. Paano nyo to paghahandaan?
I don't know, but I think same lang naman kung ano yung ginagawa namin sa practices, and then yun, adapt lang namin sa game.
Alright, anyone you'd like to thank? Greetings mo? Go ahead.
I would like to thank ZUS Coffee and also yung family ko sa Mindoro and sa UK, and also sa family ng teammates ko, and sa mga sumusuporta sa ZUS Coffee, and sa mga nanonood ng PVL ngayon. Hi everyone!
Alright, once again, congratulations to Clo Mondoniedo and the rest of the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles. They're bound to the quarterfinals. Back to you, Chiquinho.
Thanks so much, Jana, and that is a much-deserved player of the game title for Clo Mondoniedo. If you look at the spread of the points here, but before that, let's discuss what the quarterfinals will look like. Neil?
This is the Elite 8 for our All-Filipino Conference. It's Creamline versus Cheritigo, PLDT versus Choco Mucho, Petrogas versus Zeus Coffee, and Galleries Tower versus Akari. And that all happens on Saturday, and it will be a best-of-3 series.
Wow, it just goes on, but we are almost there. We are going to see who will win this All-Filipino, starting off with the quarterfinals games. The best-of-3 starts on Saturday, March 15 at the Phil Sports Arena right here. Game 1 will be between the Galleries Tower High Risers and the Akari Chargers at 4 p.m. Following that is the PLDT High Speed Hitters encounter with the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. That's at 6:30, so make sure you join us for that. And meantime, we thank you for joining us today, the last day of the play-ins, and we hope you join us for our continuing coverage of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. This has been Chikiro Puno with Neil Flores and John Ahido on behalf of the men and women of Signal Sports. We thank you for joining us. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.